Patriotism is dead. There's only rebels and tyrants now.
A world ready for the righteous and the pure to inherit.
Don't believe in surrenders. No, I still got my saber, Reverend. Didn't turn it into no plowshare either.
I'm taking over this territory.
Hello there, one and all. You know who I am. ETTemplar, Supreme Misfit, Professional Dipshit. And before we get into this reaction, we have to read about what the recent ruling was by the Supreme Court about presidential immunity. So, U.S. presidents enjoy full immunity from criminal charges for their official core constitutional acts. So anything done within the guidelines of the Constitution, they have immunity from it. But there's a catch. Acts, but no immunity for unofficial acts. The Supreme Court ruled Monday. So this would also have to be done probably, if I had to guess, by a case-by-case basis by the Supreme Court to judge which actions were within those core constitutional acts. Sending former President Donald Trump's election interference case back to the lower courts. So again, this is not a blanket immunity. This is not giving presidents the catch-all power to do whatever the hell they want. So I just had to cover that before we get into this because this dipshit here thinks otherwise. And let's react to this person, shall we?
So the Supreme Court ruled that a president has complete immunity for any act they do.
Not any act, within core constitutional acts. So, again, like most liberals and Democrats, it's for them to start off with misinformation and bullshit.
Their official capacity as president. And Joe Biden is still president. And the Supreme Court is counting on Joe Biden to continue to be the good man that he is and not abuse what they have just given him. But personally, I think Joe Biden should go full Monty on this. I mean, in his official capacity as president, maybe he could just disband the Supreme Court.
Last time I checked, I don't think the president has that kind of fucking authority to disband the entire Supreme Court. And if a president wants to do that, instant civil war. But it gets stupider. She gets stupider, ladies and gentlemen.
Or unalive Donald Trump. I mean, he'd have complete immunity. He's president, right? That would certainly solve a lot of our problems.
And it would also create a whole bunch of problems. Not only would you have to find elements in the military, the National Guard, and maybe some Navy SEALs and Marines to actually carry out that act, good fucking luck. But not only that, such act would make a martyr out of Trump, and again, you would have a second civil war if you didn't have one already. If a sitting president was to disband SCOTUS, the Supreme Court. So you're automatically assuming that people wouldn't react to this egregious form of tyranny on the American people and desecration of the Constitution and this democratic republic, that people wouldn't take issue with that. Especially in this economy, where people have less and less more to lose, and they have less fear because of that. And especially Appalachia and the states that are within spitting distance of D.C., you don't think that there would be reprisals? You don't think there would be a John Hunt Morgan fucking situation out of my home state? So she's not the first person or political person on the left to suggest assassination, sedition, and treason against a sitting fucking president. I think it was someone on The View or CNN were saying, oh, what if they airstrike Mar-a-Lago, or what if they raided Mar-a-Lago, which they kind of already have done with the FBI. They went through all their houses, shit, Melania Trump's shit, her underwear drawer. They went through Barron Trump's shit. So technically, they already tried this and didn't find shit. So it's just baffling to me that leftists like this don't think that this would lead to a boogaloo situation, that people would take that shit personally. But if you look at this woman, she's clearly brainwashed, got the brainworms, and mildly fucking retarded. But like, I know me personally, hypothetically speaking, considering my family history and shit, yeah, I wouldn't take that too kindly to that. But yeah, it's not a cover-all immunity. And of course, to rephrase this, official core constitutional acts. And if you guys don't know, I believe Barack Obama signed the death warrant for an American citizen. I believe his name was Anwar al-Awlaki. He was this skinny American guy who got radicalized by Al-Qaeda. I think it went over to either Afghanistan or Iraq. I think it was Afghanistan. Joined up with Al-Qaeda, and then he ate a hellfire fucking sandwich. Oh. So that was essentially a sanctioned assassination. Now, was it constitutional? I mean, he was a traitor, treason, and a terrorist. So I guess within the constitutional guidelines, he was an enemy, foreign and domestic. So within that, it's mainly to cover presidents for immunity for acts for their job that they have to do. You know, presidents have to do and sanction some pretty heinous shit. Even Barack Obama signed off on probably airstrikes, raids, Bush. So other previous presidents had to agree and order some heinous stuff. So this protects them in a legal sense, and it keeps other presidents from persecuting other presidents to keep it civil. But then again, if you look at this kind of person, she is openly advocating for sedition and treason against the Supreme Court, one, and two, implying that Joe Biden assassinate a previous president, which for anyone to even think that, even in my radical extremist thoughts on the right side of things, I would be against that, even if it was Obama, Jimmy Carter, or Bill Clinton, right? That's just fucking absurd. And regardless of those assholes, even Obama, Bill Clinton, Bush, they're still our president. That would be unspeakable. Even as much as I disdain and hate those men. And here's this bitch, which probably in all reality has never fired a gun, but she's up here advocating, thinking that there would be no reprisals and no counter boogaloo to their boogaloo. But I better close this video out before I say something that gets me in trouble. But yeah, it wouldn't go without incident. That form of tyranny and treason would be forcibly either put down, or the people would die trying to counter that oppression. But in closing, sic semper tyrannis, and eat shit.
Though the bushes are home, the green sod our bed, our drink from the river